Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the McGillicuddy and Skug River Branch Line Railroad. Now, the McGillicuddy and Skug is a very small branch line, and it doesn't have enough money for its own trains. So it's contracted out to the Baltimore and Ohio for passenger service and the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Rail for its freight service. Now, to explain the naming of the branch line, we first have to introduce the McGillicuddy farm. You can just see Farmer McGillicuddy pulling his tractor out to fetch more hay for his cows. Now, if you look carefully, you might see something interesting on a dairy farm. It's a grain silo. So why does he have a silo? Well, he really wanted to grow soybeans, but unfortunately he doesn't have a very green thumb. So every plant he ever put into the ground promptly died. So he gave up and went back to dairy farming. There's Gertrude and her buddies out there having their lunch. And there is the silo, which has been converted into the largest indoor shark tank in North America. Next, we'll want to introduce the other half of the name of the McGillicuddy and Skug branch line. Here is the Skug River. As you can see, it's a little on the dry side. In fact, it's so dry that the railroad decided to use the remains of the river to put its rail on. We can see that it's not only dry, but it's been dry for about the last 300 years. So, although it's technically still got the name Skug River, unfortunately, it has no water. Next, we're going to explain why Farmer McGillicuddy is so grumpy all the time. He has 6 kids, and instead of helping them on the farm, you can see they're busy rock climbing on Mount Spoon. And that is their way of getting as far away from Dad as possible, as well as, of course, getting away from the cow poop. Next, we'll take you to the station. We can see that the Baltimore and Ohio right now is pulled up for its regular passenger service. And as you can see, for a poor rural community, it's interesting that the mayor drives a Porsche. You can see that Boxster on the left there. That's because Mayor Cheatham lives up to his name and regularly robs the public till. You'll also see by the freight terminal a very well-known sight. It is, if we can see it properly, a UPS truck. Because even in the little town of Skug River, they still get service from Amazon.com. So, looks like it's just about time for the freight train to pull out. With some luck, we won't have a derailment. The freight is loaded, the passengers are on board, and away we go. Oh, there's a derailment. Let's see if we can fix that. No. Still no luck. And we are in business. The freight train goes up onto the viaduct. And let's see if we can find the freight service. Oh, we're in business. It happens to be right there. You can see a double-headed freight line on the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad, pulling up past the McGillicuddy farm on the other side of the viaduct, hauling all the necessary and important freight to and from McGillicuddy and Skug. And right below we can see the passenger service. They're old cars, and they frequently come decoupled. And you can see they have interior lights, which sometimes work, sometimes not so much. We'll watch the passenger line pull up along the viaduct just in time for the freight train to pass beneath in the opposite direction. A little trouble with focus here. Once again, there's the passenger service pulling by the station, getting direction from the tower, heading again for the viaduct. Oh, it's like some poor car is stuck there waiting for this perpetually running train to go by. And now we have the freight service also coming by the Skug River station. See, that's double-headed by 2 engines, carry all these cars up the very unrealistic 6-degree grade towards the bridge, which carries them over the long-defunct Skug River. And there they go. Now we'll get one last shot, the passenger line coming through. And you can see in the distance, there's the freight line coming through. And we'll view this as a successful running day for the McGillicuddy and Skug River Railroad.